Did you know some animals died thousands of years ago and still have their eyes, fur, and even their mother's milk inside them? It's still there, right where it was the moment they died. Most animals that die don't last long. They rot away or get eaten within weeks. But ice is different. Ice holds an animal in place at the exact second it dies. It doesn't let go, sometimes for over 40,000 years. Right now, deep under the frozen ground in Siberia and inside a cave in the south of Chile, there are animal bodies just waiting to be found. Most people think these animals are only bones in a museum. They're wrong. These are full bodies with fur, skin, organs, and sometimes even blood still inside them. Today we're looking at 5 prehistoric animals that were found perfectly preserved, and the details scientists found when they dug them up are honestly disturbing. In May 2007, a reindeer herder named Yuri Kudi was walking across the Yamal Peninsula in Russia. That's when he saw something strange sticking out of a riverbank. It was a baby mammoth, and it was almost completely whole. Kudi's people believe it's bad luck to touch a dead mammoth, so he left it there and went to ask a friend what to do. But by the time he came back, the body was gone. It turns out his cousin found the mammoth too. He sold it to a shop owner for 2 snowmobiles and a year of food. While it was being moved, dogs attacked the body and tore off part of its ear and tail. Luckily, officials and museum workers stepped in and saved what was left. They named her Luba, after Kudi's wife, since he was the one who first found her and got help. Luba died about 42,000 years ago. She was only 30 to 35 days old. And here's the part that's hard to believe. She wasn't just old bones covered in skin. Her eyes were still there. Her trunk was still there. She still had fur on her body. She weighed just 50 kilograms, about the size of a large dog. For years, she was known as the best preserved baby mammoth ever found. Scientists checked her stomach and found something surprising. Her mother's milk was still inside her. They also found signs she'd been eating her mother's dung. That might sound strange, but it's completely normal for baby mammoths and elephants. It helps them build healthy bacteria in their stomach. This means Luba's very last meal was still sitting inside her tens of thousands of years later. Scientists believe she got stuck in mud near a river and drowned, then froze almost right away. That's why she looks less like a fossil and more like she just fell asleep. In 2020, a group of people searching for mammoth tusks in Siberia found something sticking out of the frozen ground. At first, they thought it was another mammoth. It was a baby saber-toothed cat, and nothing like it ever been found before. Scientists call this species Homotherium latidens. Before this discovery, the only evidence they had was old bones. This was the first time a full, preserved body had ever been found. The cub died at just 3 weeks old, somewhere between 35,000 and 37,000 years ago. Its whiskers, claws, and fur were all still there. When scientists compared it to a baby lion of the same age, they noticed some strange differences. Its mouth was wider than expected, its neck was thicker, its ears were smaller, and its paws were missing something every cat today has: a soft pad on the wrist that cushions each step. Scientists think this missing pod wasn't a problem. It might have helped the animal walk more easily through deep snow, something no cat alive today can do the same way. For the first time, an animal humans had only ever known through teeth and bones finally had a face, and it looked nothing like anyone expected. In 1895, a German explorer named Hermann Eberhard was exploring a large cave in southern Chile. That's when he found something that looked almost fresh, a big patch of skin still sitting in the dark. It belonged to a giant ground sloth called Melodon. This animal weighed between 1,000 and 2,000 kilograms, about as heavy as a small car. It once lived across the region of Patagonia. But here's the twist. Unlike every other animal on this list, this one was never frozen. The cave stayed cold and dry. It was also sealed under a thick layer of the sloth's own waste. To get This created the perfect conditions to preserve the skin naturally, almost like a slow form of tanning. No ice, no freezing, just cold, dry air with no oxygen for around 13,000 years. The skin was so well preserved that scientists were later able to pull genetic material from it. It became one of the very first successful cases of ancient DNA ever recovered from any animal that wasn't human, an animal that never touched a glacier, yet it was preserved almost as well as the ones that spent thousands of years frozen solid. In 2014, a man named Alexander Banderov was sailing past a cliff in Siberia. He noticed something sticking out of the ice above him. At first, he thought it was just a dead reindeer. He pulled his boat closer to take a better look. What fell out of the ice was a baby woolly rhinoceros. It was later named Sasha, after the man who found it. It had been frozen for about 34,000 years. Sasha was around 7 months old when she died, and already almost 5 feet long, bigger than a modern baby African rhino would be at a year and a half. Scientists expected her fur to be dull and falling apart. Instead, they found a thick, soft coat that was still fully intact, with a dense layer of fur hidden underneath the longer hairs. Even after many tests, scientists still can't tell if Sasha was male or female. To this day, she remains the only baby woolly rhino ever found in the world. In 2016, scientists working in Siberia found 2 cave lion cubs buried 7 meters underground. They were just a few meters apart from each other. The cubs had been frozen for around 12,000 years. Their whiskers were still attached. Their fur was still soft. The preservation was so good that scientists could even see the toes on each paw. The cubs were later named Yuan and Dina, after a river nearby. Both cubs were only about 2 weeks old when they died. Their eyes hadn't even opened yet. Scientists believe a landslide crushed their den while their mother was out hunting. She never made it back in time to save them. Cave lions weren't small animals. They were even bigger than lions today. They sat at the very top of the food chain during the Ice Age, with nothing left to hunt them. And yet, here were 2 babies, only 2 weeks old, looking like they had just fallen asleep, even though they'd actually been dead for 12,000 years. 5 animals. Some were frozen solid for tens of thousands of years. One was hidden in a dry cave for about 13,000 years. And in every case, the earth held onto something it should have destroyed a long time ago. Fur, skin, a final meal, even a mother's milk, all perfectly preserved long after everything else from that world disappeared. The earth is warming up and permafrost is melting faster every year. Scientists believe there's more out there, still waiting to be found. What else is frozen right now, quietly waiting to come back? Nobody actually knows yet. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button.